Hi, it's Jason here and welcome to this Ashtanga practice for the University of Leeds Yoga Society. I'm going to be taking you through about now 20 minutes of an Ashtanga based sequence. This is a very traditional sequence of postures and we're going to be doing about 75-80% of that. We're going to do it in exactly the right order and I'm just going to pick out the key postures for you. You may have done this with me, it's often the 5 till 6:30 class on a Monday. So you might know pretty much what's coming, but if this is new to you, it's really important that you just take this nice and steady. I'm going to give you lots of options for all of the postures, but obviously as this is an online class, there's nobody in the room with you kind of, just keeping an eye on you. So you need to just really err on the side of caution and just do whatever feels appropriate. This practice can unfold. You can go deeper into these physical postures over time. You might want to do this sequence a few times and maybe see how you progress. But really the most important thing is that this yoga practice is a breathing exercise. So whatever happens, the breath comes first. The breath leads the way and these movements, these physical postures unfold over time. So it's really important to listen to your body and just do what feels appropriate. So to begin this practice, we're going to just explore the breathing technique that we use to get us through these Ashtanga postures, and we'll do a few gentle warm-up stretches and then we'll begin the practice. So to begin with, making sure that you feel nice and comfortable however you're sitting. It might just be easy cross-legged. If you wanted to sit up on a book or a block, we're just going to be here for a few moments, you could. And really making sure the knees are not feeling stressed. So, whatever feels okay. And you can either have the fingers in front of you interlaced like this, or you might feel more comfortable with the hands on the knees and relaxing the shoulders. It's nice to slightly take the gaze downwards, but you're going to keep the eyes open and just soften the gaze, maybe off the front of your mat or the space between your knees, and let the neck be free and the shoulders soft. We're going to take this time just to shift our awareness to the breath. So whatever it feels like for you to begin with, to breathe in and to breathe out. A little bit more specifically in this Ashtanga system, we keep the mouth gently closed and continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. But the subtle shift now is to take control of the breath. So as opposed to the body breathing itself, which is fairly amazing in itself, we now breathe a slightly longer breath in through the nose and balance that with a slightly longer breath out through the nose. So you are now responsible for breathing slightly fuller, deeper breaths. Just a few seconds longer as you inhale, and then as you exhale. And the challenge in this practice is to keep remembering to breathe these fuller, deeper breaths. It's a great way of fueling the body with a little bit more oxygen as you inhale, and then completely breathing out as you exhale. Over time, we cultivate a little bit of awareness to the abdomen. You want to try and feel this area just subtly toning up a little bit, as if these muscles have been gently switched on. And if we can create a little bit of stillness and support here, we can effectively divert a little bit more of this air that we're breathing in and out up here into the rib cage area. So it feels a little bit more now like you're breathing in and filling the lungs as you inhale. And exhale, emptying the lungs. This has got to be realistic for you. You can't crunch in your tummy and hold that for an hour and 20 minutes, but you can maintain some gentle awareness there. And finally, over time, we can start to gently hear this smooth breathing. It's a very subtle sound as you inhale and as you exhale. And over time, we can gently begin to feel an audible quality to this breath. This soft, gentle, swirling sound as we breathe in and as we breathe out. But we're not forcing anything, so this might just kind of, come over time. We're just focusing on the breath. But this is the real challenge. This is the yoga practice, to really immerse ourselves in this sensation of this full deep breathing, and to try and keep remembering to do it as we move through the postures. So breath comes first, and these postures gently unfold over time. Just a few gentle little movements then, just to warm up. We're going to do these lying down on our back. So we're going to scoot back and lie down with the knees slightly bent, and we're going to bring the feet and the knees together, and we're going to take the hands back behind us and just put the back of the hands on the ground and make this sort of T shape, or as if you're surrendering. From here, we can let the knees gently drift down to the right with the left knee on top, and turn your gaze gently over your left shoulder, and just enjoy this nice gentle little stretch across to the side. Nice and easy on the neck. I'm just going to hold this a few breaths, and it's a great opportunity, even though we're warming up, to really keep that full steady breath ticking over. Smooth breath in through the nose, keep breathing in. Smooth breath out through the nose, keep breathing out. Inhale to center. Exhale, let the knees drift down to the left. So your right knee on top of left knee. Don't need to worry about getting the knees down towards the ground. I'm just hanging in space here as I gently look over my right shoulder. I'm not forcing anything. And I'm breathing. Nice gentle twist along the length of the spine. And then I'm getting back up to center. I'm going to keep my left foot on the mat, and I'm going to give myself a little gentle hug with this right knee drawn into the chest, and just hold it in place there. And I'm still breathing. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. I'm going to put that right foot down, and I'm going to switch and gently draw my left knee into the chest. I'm just holding that for another moment. And I can back off that left leg, but then I'm going to do this together. So if it's too much to reach round, I might just be picking up underneath the knees, or maybe just holding opposite wrists. If I want to go further, I'm taking this nice and easy on the neck. I might inhale and gently start lifting the chin towards the knees. And I could take this as an opportunity to reach a little bit further around. But if that felt too much, or I wasn't happy doing this with my neck off the ground, I could just still be doing this with my head on the ground and drawing both knees into the chest. And then backing off from there. And lastly, happy baby posture is to take the legs up and separate them with the knees bent. We're going to try and reach on the inside and try and imagine the feet are sort of facing, the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. They're not turning in. And I can use a little bit of downward movement of the arms, but I'm not forcing that. And I'm trying to keep my hips on the ground. I don't want to feel like I'm rolling backwards. So I'm feeling like my spine is glued onto the mat. And a gentle downward movement, trying to essentially move my knees down towards the ground, either side of my torso. I'm just looking straight up towards the ceiling, and I'm just breathing a few more breaths here. Smooth breath in through the nose, keep breathing in. Smooth breath out, keep breathing out. And then from here, I could maybe rock up to sitting, or I might want to just tilt off to one side. And just getting my bearings from sitting to come up to standing, ready to begin. Let the breath lead the way. Focus on the steady, even breathing. Sun salutation A. Inhale, float the arms up. Let the gaze gently follow. Exhale, you might want to soften the knees, hands down or shins or ankles. Let the head hang. Stay connected down here. Inhale, lift the gaze, straight arm, straight back. It's important to bend the knees enough to completely place the hands down. Step the feet to the back of the mat, a little way apart, knees down, elbows in, and press to lower. Inhale, eventually upward facing dog, but cobra here. Engage the legs, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, gently rolling up and back into our first downward facing dog. We're in this down facing dog for 5 steady breaths. Initially, you might want to have the knees slightly bent, and you could work at straightening the legs over time. Keep the fingers spread nice and wide into the mat behind your head. That's already 3 breaths. Trying to keep the hips lifting. Head is nice and free and hanging. Is 4. Smooth breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Is 5. Inhale, head up. Maybe just stepping through on this first couple and staying low. Lift the gaze, straight arms straight back. Exhale, remember you can soften the knees, let the head gently hang. Inhale, press through the feet, float the arms up, gently looking up at the space between your palms. Exhale, hands to sides, looking straight ahead. Nice and steady on this second one. Inhale, float the arms up, gently let the gaze follow. Exhale, folding down, let the head hang. Inhale, stay low, straight arms straight back, lift the gaze slightly, bend the knees. Make sure the hands are flat down with the fingers spread, stepping to the back of the mat. Try and press the mat away from you, knees down, elbows in to go down. On the tops of the feet, press into the toes. Eventually, upward facing dog has the thighs off the ground, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. If that's too much, cobra will be fine. And then exhale, pressing back to our second down facing dog. So settling into this posture. Make sure the legs are working, those muscles engaged above kneecaps. The hips are lifting. Trying to gently encourage your chest to move back towards your toes. Steady breathing. Face nice and relaxed, mouth gently closed. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Is 4. 5. Inhale, head up, a couple of steps, whatever it takes. Feet back to the front of the mat, close together. Stay low, lift the gaze. Exhale, gently folding down. Maybe eventually the fingertips on the mat. Let the head hang. Inhale, press through the feet. Float the arms up, look up. Eventually the palms are getting closer and they might even touch as you exhale, hands to sides, looking straight ahead. Going to go a little bit quicker. Keep breathing. Inhale, float the arms up. Let the gaze follow. Exhale, folding down, eventually fingertips on the mat. If that's too much, hands on shins or ankles, let the head hang. Stay low, straight arm straight back, lift the gaze, bend the knees. Once the hands are down with the fingers spread, you might eventually jump the feet back, but if that's too much, step back, elbows in to lower all the way down. Inhale, press back into the toes, eventually thighs off the ground, upward facing dog, lift the chest. Exhale, press back and up to our third downward facing dog. That's already 1 breath. Eventually the legs are straighter in these down-facing dogs, but if it's too intense on the back of the legs, soften the knees. It's 2, but wherever you are, try and keep your chest moving back towards your toes. Is 3, steady, even breathing. 4, try and keep the fingers spread nice and wide into the mat behind your head. 5, inhale, and eventually jumping the feet back to the front, no problem to step back through, stay low as you lift the gaze. Exhale, eventually with straighter legs, but soften the knees, forward bend, let the head hang. Inhale, press through the feet, float the arms up, look up, eventually the palms touch. Exhale, hands to sides, looking straight ahead. You're doing really well, 2 more to go. Inhale, float the arms up, gently let the gaze follow. Exhale, gazing down towards the ground or your feet, head hangs. Inhale, looking just off the front of your mat, straight arm straight back. Exhale, once the hands are down, jump, or remember you can just step back if you need to, elbows in, press to lower down. The challenge might be to be just off the ground before inhaling, press back into the toes, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips lift and go back, down facing dog. Steady breathing. That's 1, 2, keep the fingers spread nice and wide into the mat behind your head. 3, eventually the heels getting a little bit closer to the ground behind you, just whatever feels appropriate to you. Is 4, 5, bending the knees and inhaling as you jump or step the feet back to the front of the mat, straight arms straight back, lift the gaze. Exhale, folding down, let the head hang. Inhale, press through the feet, float the arms up, looking up to see your palms. Exhale, looking straight ahead, hands to sides. Last, a sun salutation. Inhale, float the arms up, looking up. Exhale, folding down, let the head hang. Inhale, stay low, straight arms straight back. Exhale, hands flat, fingers spread, jump or step the feet back a little way apart, elbows in, and press the mat away from you to lower down. Inhale, lift the chest through, roll the shoulders back, upward facing dog, gaze slightly lifted. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Steady breathing is 1, 2. Now, if these down facing dogs become a bit too much and you need a breather, you can soften your knees. It's 3. You can even just come down onto your knees if you need to catch your breath. Breath is really the most important thing. 4. So it's important not to sacrifice the breath for any of these postures. 5. Inhale, head up. Jumping or stepping the feet back to the front of the mat. Straight arms straight back, lift the gaze. Exhale, folding gently down. Just let the head completely hang. Inhale, press through the feet, float the arms up, looking up to see palms eventually touching. Exhale, hands to sides, looking straight ahead. Surya Namaskar B, the second sun salutation, and we're going to do 3 of these. So just pacing ourselves. If doing 3 is too much, just do a couple and you can always sit one out. Bending the knees, sink down nice and low. Inhale, lift the arms and look up. Exhale and keep the knees slightly bent. Nice way of exploring getting fingertips down on the mat, let the head hang. Inhale, same as before, straight arms straight back. Important to bend the knees, hands flat down. Remember, you can just step back if you want to. Feet a little way apart, elbows in as you go down. Inhale on the tops of the feet, lift the chest through, roll the shoulders back, upward facing dog. Exhale all the way back, down facing dog. But we keep moving. Left heel turns in, that back foot flat on the mat if you can. Right foot steps through. Inhale, arms up into warrior 1. Exhale, hands straight back down either side of that right foot as you step back. Continue to exhale the rest of the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the chest. Exhale all the way back. Downward facing dog. Right heel turns in, that back foot turned at 45 degrees. Nice step through that left foot as you bend the knee. Keep inhaling the arms up. Warrior on the left side. Exhale, hands flat down on the mat. Step that left foot back, elbows into lower down. So for the 3rd time, inhale, upward facing dog, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, pushing back into the down facing dog. We now hold for 5 breaths. This down facing dog always feels a little bit more challenging because of the extra movements that have preceded it. If you need to soften the knees or come down onto your knees, no problem. Try and almost hear that gentle swirling sound of the breath as you inhale through the nose, fill the lungs. Exhale through the nose, emptying the lungs. A couple more breaths here is 4. Lots of space around the shoulders. Keep the fingers pressing into the mat. Is 5. Inhale, head up. And again, no problem if you're just stepping back through to the front of the mat. Stay low, straight arms straight back. Exhale, you soften the knees, gently folding down, let the head hang. But bend the knees more, sinking down to finish the way we started, lifting the arms up and looking up. Exhale, straight legs, hands to sides. So 2 more, you're doing really well. Keep breathing. Bend the knees, sink down. Inhale, arms up. Eventually the palms touch, but more important to keep the arms nice and strong. As you exhale, fingertips eventually down on the mat, let the head hang. Inhale, stay low, straight arms straight back. Bend the knees, hands flat, jump or step the feet back, elbows in, and press to lower down. Inhale, push back into the toes, lift the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to down facing dog. Left heel turns in, right foot steps through, continue to inhale the arms up and gently look up. Exhale, hands flat down on the ground, step back, elbows in the rest of the way. Inhale on the tops of the feet, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale all the way back, downward facing dog. Right heel turns in, left foot steps through, continue to inhale the arms up, gently looking up. Exhale, hands flat down on the ground, fingers spread, left foot steps back to lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep breathing. It's 1, 2, 3. A few more breaths. Trying to be fairly still in these physical postures. Just do the best you can. 4. Feel some support from your abdomen. Fill the lungs as you inhale. Empty the lungs as you exhale. Is 5. Inhale, head up, jumping or stepping the feet back to the front of the mat. Stay low, straight arms straight back. Exhale, folding down, let the head hang. Bend the knees, sink down nice and low, but inhale the arms up, full breath, gently looking up. Exhale, straight legs, hands to sides. Last one. Bend the knees, sink down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, the hips lift as the head hangs. Hands down towards the ground, let the head hang. Inhale, straight arms straight back. Bend the knees, hands down. Maybe a little bunny hop back. Elbows in as you go down the rest of the way. Inhale on the tops of the toes, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, all the way back. Down facing dog. Left heel turns in, so it's the right foot that steps through first as you bend the knee. Inhale, arms up into warrior. Exhale, hands flat down on the ground. Step that right foot back, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press back into the toes. Exhale, down facing dog. Right heel turns in, left foot steps through second. Inhale, arms up, warrior. Exhale, hands flat down. Try and stay nice and low as you step back, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the chest. Exhale, down facing dog. Everyone's doing really well. Remember that option if you need a little bit of a breather on your knees. And over time, you would build up the stamina to hold more of these down facing dogs. See if you can keep moving your chest back towards your toes. Keep the hips lifting, muscles switched on above kneecaps and thighs. Space around the shoulders, head is heavy. A few more breaths. It's 3, 4, 5. Inhale, head up, jumping or stepping the feet back to the front of the mat. Stay low, straight arms straight back. Exhale, gently folding down, let the head hang. Bend the knees, sink down nice and low. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, straight legs, hands to sides. Okay, our first standing posture is called Padangusthasana. We're going to separate our feet about hip distance apart and parallel. We might want to soften the knees to eventually reach down and pick up the big toes with 2 fingers. Palms are facing each other. Now, if that's too much, you're just going to put your hands on your shins or ankles, but you're going to connect to something as you now take an extra breath. Inhale, similar to all of the sun salutations, lift the gaze, straight arms straight back, and exhaling as far as feels appropriate down into this forward bend, big toe posture. Try and let the head hang. You can keep the knees slightly bent if you need to, but try and keep the hips lifting and let gravity take the top of your head closer to your feet. Over time, you're moving your chest closer to your thighs, but wherever you are, keep the shoulders nice and soft, elbows eventually drifting out towards the sides. It's already 3, 4, 5. Inhale to come out, straight arm straight back, lift the gaze and exhale there. Take a moment to soften the knees, to release the hands from wherever they were, squeeze into the waist. Once you've got that connection, inhale the rest of the way up and then bringing the feet back together. So we keep resetting, feet together, hands by sides looking straight ahead. Next is Trikonasana A. We step sideways, parallel feet, float the arms parallel to the ground. Distance between your feet, well, as if your feet underneath your elbows. Keep the heels in a line, right foot to the back of your mat, left foot turns in a little bit, but we're facing square on the long edge of our mat, we're not twisting. Right hand can go slightly back and down. Now, eventually it's big toe. More important to keep this left hip rolling up so you can put your hand on shin, ankle, wherever feels appropriate, and float that left arm straight up towards the ceiling as we look up towards our left palm. Steady breathing. Nice strong back left leg. If it's too intense with that right leg straight at the front, just soften the knee a little bit, but keep that right leg working. Space across the shoulders. Nice and easy on the neck as you gently look up and catch sight of your left thumb. A couple more breaths here. Is 4 and 5. Inhale, coming up to the side. We're going to switch to the left side. Don't forget that right foot has to turn in. Left foot to the front, right hip rolls back. Feel like you're completely facing the long edge of your mat. Try and stay in this sideways plane. Could be different on this side. Left hand goes forwards and down. Eventually for that big toe or ankle, try and keep this right hip lifting and gazing up to see your right thumb. Nice strong back leg. Nice and spacious across the shoulders. You can always soften that left knee if it's a bit intense with that left leg completely straight. You would never want to have it locked back anyway, so a nice description is a hair width away from being straight and it's switched on. And a few more breaths here is 4 and 5. Inhale lifts us up, and we're turning to square up to the back of our mat. Right foot to the back, left foot turns in. Try and imagine your hips squaring up to the back, right hip back, left hip forwards. For the revolved triangle, Trikonasana B, we're going slightly forwards. Now eventually this left hand down on the ground, but a nice way in is to put this left hand down the length of that lower right leg and turn to the right. And eventually you might be able to extend that right arm straight up to look up towards your right thumb. Nice strong back left leg. In these more challenging postures, don't worry if you're doing a modification. Just listen to your body. Don't overdo it. A few more breaths. It's 4. And 5. Exhale, look down. Inhale, come up. Turning to face the front. Left foot to the front, right foot turns in, hips square, left hip back, right hip forwards. So you're falling forwards a few degrees. Same options on this left side. Right hand might be on that lower left leg. Keep your left hand on your waist if you need to and just start turning this way. If you want to go a little bit further to the left, right hand can go down as you twist and eventually look up towards your left thumb. Keep breathing. Might feel a little bit different on this side, so just be with differences between the different sides of the postures. You can always back off a little bit with that left leg, but eventually it's straight. And a few more breaths. It's 4. And 5. Exhale, look down. Inhale. Nice to stretch out to the side. Give the arms a lift, and then exhale, resetting. Front of the mat, feet together, hands by sides. Stepping out wider for Parsvakonasana. So the distance between your parallel feet is greater, as if your feet are underneath your wrists. Right foot to the back again, left foot turns in. Right knee bends as you still continue facing the long edge of your mat. A nice way in is to put your right forearm just in front of that right knee, left arm up, palm to the back and over a few degrees. If you can keep this left hip lifted, you might eventually get that right hand down on the ground. Keep breathing wherever you are. I can feel the little toe side of my left foot pressing back into the mat behind me. Eventually gazing to my left fingers. If that's too much, I could just look across to the side though. Don't want to stress the neck. It's 4. And 5. Inhale, coming up, switching sides. Left foot to the front, right foot turns in. Sinking down over that left knee, but still facing the long edge of my mat. Remember, a nice way in is left forearm just in front of your knee. Right arm up. Turn the palm to the front, and can you bring this arm, even if it's just a few degrees, forwards? Eventually, this left hand down on the ground, and this right arm coming over a bit further. You can feel that nice strong back right leg behind me. Eventually gazing to right fingertips. A few more breaths. It's 4. Try and keep lifting the chest. 5. Inhale, coming up to the side. Give the arms a lift, palms face down. Exhale, returning, front of the mat, feet together, hands by side. Stepping out again to the right, nice and wide, but this time with the hands on the waist. As we inhale, feet parallel, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Preparing to go forwards for Prasarita Padottanasana, a forward bend with our feet spread wider. You might want to soften the knees. To begin with, maybe just getting your hands towards the edge of your mat, eventually palms down. At some point, it'll align with the feet. Wherever you get to, inhale, lift the chest, straight arm, straight back, and then exhaling into the posture. Try and feel like your head is hanging as eventually you move your chest back through between the legs, nice and soft with the neck. If it's too intense with straight legs, just soften the knees, but you don't want to feel like you're collapsing down in this posture. Try and keep the hips lifting as the head hangs. A few more breaths. 3, 4, 5. Inhale to come out, straight arm, straight back. Exhale, just pause there. Release the hands to the waist, squeeze in. Inhale all the way up and exhale there. 2 more variations on this posture are inhale, take the arms out to the side. Exhale, take hands behind back, interlace fingers. You have to feel your way, but try and maintain that grip. Straight arms as you inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. And as you exhale, falling forwards, just go as far as feels okay. To begin with, you might just get a sense your arms up behind you or maybe up towards the ceiling. And then eventually coming a little bit further back down towards the ground. Keep the arms switched on. Keep the toes spreading into the mat. A few more breaths here. There's 4. And 5. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to waist. And with the hands on the waist, inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale for our last variation, Prasarita Padottanasana D. The hands travel down the legs. Hands on shins, ankles, eventually picking up big toes with 2 fingers, palms face in. Whatever feels okay, but we are connected. Straight arm, straight back. Lift the gaze just off the long edge of your mat. And then exhale, falling down. Let the head hang. Eventually elbows drifting out towards the side. If you're not quite as far in this posture, that's completely fine. Just make sure it makes sense for you. And of course, keep breathing. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. And that's 4. And 5. Inhale to come out. Straight arm, straight back. Exhale there. Hands to waist, squeeze in. Just take a moment. Inhale the rest of the way up. And exhale, turning on that left foot so your right foot can step in. Feet together, hands by sides. For Parsvottanasana, we can either just take the elbows behind the back and hold with opposite hands, but the full posture is reverse prayer position, but a little bit further to go. So don't worry if you're not completely doing this. We're stepping out to the right. And incidentally, the leg position is the same as that revolved triangle. Right foot to the back, left foot turned in. Right hip draws back. We're square to the back as we keep inhaling, lifting the chest. And steady away as you fold over this right leg. Try and let the chest lead the way. If it's too intense on the back of that right leg, just be here. You could soften that right knee a little bit, but a nice amount of weight goes back into that left foot behind you as you gaze gently down towards your right toes. Keep breathing. Try and keep drawing that right hip back, taking your chest out and over the length of that right leg, gently lengthening the spine. It's 4 and 5. Inhale, coming up and switching. Left foot to the front, right foot turns in. Try and draw your left hip back so you're square to the front, and exhale. Now it could be different over this left leg. Nice strong back right leg. You can slightly soften that left knee. I wouldn't overly bend it, so you might just be so far up here with that leg straighter. And over time, chest goes forwards in space, head follows to look down towards your left toes, left hip is drawing back, and a few more breaths. Face nice and relaxed. It's 4. Steady breathing. It's 5. Inhale, coming up to the side, feet parallel. Give the arms a nice stretch out, and exhaling back to the front. Feet together, hands by sides. Up next are our balance postures. Tita Hasta Padangustasana. So we're going to glue our left hand onto our waist, and we're either going to bend our right knee. At some point we're reaching down for that big toe. Might just be here. We're going to lift the chest, stand up nice and tall, look straight ahead, and at some point we might be straightening out that right leg in front of us. It's already 2. 3, just do the best you can to keep that left leg nice and strong. 4, don't worry if your right knee is bent. 5, exhaling that leg to the right. And as the leg goes to the right, your challenge is to look over your left shoulder. And you might still be holding up underneath that right knee, or you might have reverted to that, or that right knee might be slightly bent. It's 3, 4, 5. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand to waist. Now, I'd say it's more important to have this right leg straight, even if it's down here. So we're not standing with this right knee bent. And over time, it could be straight out in front of you. It's 2, 3. Try not to lean back. Just stand up nice and tall. 4, 5. Exhale, release. And for the left side, nice strong right leg. Right hand, remember, stays on your waist, either here, down on the inside with your left palm facing across to the right side of the room, and at some point working that leg a little bit straighter. It's 2 breaths. 3, 4, 5. A few degrees, or you can have that knee bent as it goes to the left. And your challenge eventually is to look over your right shoulder. Keep standing up nice and tall. If you come out of the posture, just take a few moments and see if you can reset. 3, 4, 5. Inhale to center. Remember, even if this left leg is lower down, we're trying to keep that leg a little bit straighter now, and we're standing up nice and tall. Hands squeezing into the waist. It's 2 breaths. Just keep lifting that left leg. Is 3. Point the toes out in front of you. It's 4. One more breath. 5. Exhale, release. Feet together, hands by sides. Now at this point in the practice, we're up to Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana. That's a little bit more of a challenging posture. So tree posture is actually a nice way in, where you're very gently making sure your right knee is happy, placing the sole of that right foot a little bit higher up, toes point down. You can always have this foot lower if this felt too intense. It's all about rotation to the hip as you place your hands in prayer position and stand up nice and tall. If you want to go further, and there's no pressure to do this, really important you don't stress your knee, you could do what's called a standing half lotus. From here, right hand goes back to hold left elbow, eventually the foot itself, and that's optional then if you wish to fall forwards, but you don't have to do this. So wherever you are, a few more breaths. Is 3, 4, tree posture, a really great way into more challenging posture at some point. And 5. And of course, if you were folding forwards, you inhale, come up, and then release the foot, and then we're standing to switch sides. Left foot off to the side. So you might be lower down, that's fine. It might be different on this side, a little bit higher up. Try and feel that left foot working. Nice openness to the hip, no stress to the knee. 5 breaths here. And again, if you wanted to go further across, standing half lotus, maybe just reaching back for your right elbow is a nice way in. If you did want to go further, you're holding onto the foot, and at some point this right hand might come down onto the ground for you to start folding forwards, but obviously that's a little bit more intense. So any of the options, maybe standing up before you think about that. And a few more breaths. Is 4 and 5. And then if you're folding forwards, obviously inhale coming up and just softening that right knee. And then once you've come the rest of the way up to standing, everybody's releasing that leg, hands by sides. Ready for our last 5 standing postures. So we're going to sink straight down into what we started and finished the B sun salutation with, Utkatasana. Feet together, knees bent, knees together, inhale, arms up. Eventually arms straight up, but you know, if it's a little way out in front of you, that's fine. As before, we're trying to work the palms closer together, but keep that space around the shoulders. Eventually looking up to see your thumbs, but not stressing the neck. Is 3, 4, and 5. We're going to keep the knees bent, and it's a nice way of exploring putting the hands flat down on the mat, wider than the feet in a little squat. From here you can inhale, look up, a little bit of weight tilts forward, more into the hands. Think about it before you do it, but you are set up to bend the knees and do a little bit of a bunny hop up and back, so you can jump back from there into your plank. Once we're there, elbows in to go down. Inhale, upward facing dog, press back into the toes, lift the chest. Exhale all the way back. Downward facing dog. As we did in that second sun salutation, left foot turns in, so draw that heel in to step that right foot forwards, bend the knee. Square up to the front, inhale, arms up for warrior. Same upper body position as you lift the fingers, keep sinking down over that right knee, strong back left foot. It's 3, 4, 5. Now for the first time, and I'd keep the hands lifted, but look down at my feet, we turn to the left. Make sure that right foot is turned in, swivel that left foot to the back of the mat, bend the knee. Try and draw that left hip back so you're square to the back of the mat, and then you can re-establish the gaze up. Warrior on the left side. Nice strong back right leg. Keep the fingers lifting up, but try and keep a nice amount of space around the shoulders. A few more breaths. Is 3, 4, and 5. And as we open up to warrior 2 on the left side, we're actually turning to face the long edge of our mat. Arms parallel to the ground, gaze over left fingertips. Feels a little bit more like the thighs are rolling away from each other now as you sink down. And that's already 3 breaths. Keep that back foot nice and strong. It's 4, 5. Last standing posture, turning from left to right. Keep the arms extended, switch the feet. Left foot turns in. I want to glance down, your right knee tracked above the heel. looking straight out to the front over your right fingertips. Keep that back arm lifted and breathing. Nice amount of weight pressing back into that left foot behind you. Nice soft shoulders. A few more breaths here. It's 4, 5. Keep the leg position if you can. Exhaling, hands either side of that right foot falls down over your right thigh. Stay low to jump or step that right foot back, elbows in to go down. Inhale on the tops of the feet. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, upward facing dog. Exhale just for a breath now in downward facing dog, preparing to come through to sitting. So look into the hands, stay low. Eventually you might be able to cross the ankles, knees come through, sit down, straightening out the legs in front, hands by sides. Ready for our first seated posture. It's important when we sit to keep the legs switched on. These muscles are still working above my kneecaps and thighs, toes straight up towards the ceiling as if my feet are flat on a wall in front of me, fingers spread nice and wide by my sides. I'm almost gently pressing down to try and lift the sternum a little bit to initially look straight ahead. Try and imagine eventually my back is vertical and upright as I then gently draw my chin down and look slightly down. Nice way into this first seated posture, Dandasana, by really reconnecting to the breath. Awareness to the abdomen, fill the lungs as you inhale, empty the lungs as you exhale. It's already 3, 4. Keep the shoulders nice and soft as if they're rolling down the back. Keep sitting up tall. 5. Ready for Paschimottanasana. This is our forward bend. Eventually you're taking hold of big toes with 2 fingers, but you need to connect to somewhere. So with straight legs, if it feels a bit intense, you can always slightly soften the knees. Hands on shins is a nice way in, or ankles. Inhale, lift the chest to lengthen, and then as you exhale, just going as far forwards as feels appropriate. So wherever you're reaching to shouldn't feel an effort. It's more about your chest coming down towards your legs and the gaze following. But of course, if you're feeling it on your hamstrings, you might not be as far down as this. You might just slightly, almost with that Superman gaze, just lift and catch sight of your big toes. But you don't want to crank the neck too much, and looking down might be a nice way in. Try and feel like you're lengthening from the base of your spine out through the top of the head as you continue to breathe. And that's already 4. Keep the shoulders rolling back away from the ears. It's 5. Inhale, straight arms straight back. Moving straight into our next posture, Purvottanasana, where we recline the hands about 20 centimeters back from the hips. Make sure that feels okay to put the weight into the hands. Inhale, lift, try and roll the big toes down towards the ground. Now you can keep your chin tucked in to begin with, and if there's too much with straight legs, soften the knees, but eventually the gaze is either up towards the ceiling or ultimately back behind you. But whatever you're doing, make sure it makes sense for you to hold Purvottanasana for a few more breaths. So that's already 3, and you might just be here. 4, so this could be called tabletop position, posture. And 5, and then exhale, gently coming back down. It's time for our first jumping back vinyasa, where we cross the ankles, knees to chest, hands flat down on the ground. Try and keep the fingers spread and the palms go down. Inhale, press, try and draw the knees to the chest, maybe the hips come off the ground. Try and tilt a little bit of weight forward. You might need to come back down and then roll onto the hands to exhale, step or hop the feet back, elbows in as you go down. Not dissimilar to a sun salutation as we inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, down facing dog. But we're just in this down facing dog for a breath to inhale and come back through for our next seated posture. So walk the feet in, eventually a little bit of a press and a jump, but take it steady as you cross the ankles, knees come through, feet out in front. So we reset in this position between all of the seated postures, where we're now doing the right side of Janu Shirshasana. So keep this left leg switched on, sole of this right foot on the inside of the left leg. You might want to support this knee to begin with, and eventually it's a little bit lower down towards the ground. But if you're doing this posture standing, try and feel some connection with this right foot on the inside of that left leg. This is also a forward bend, where we can place the hands either side of the left knee, or eventually take the foot to inhale, lift the chest, and gently fall down over this left leg. Same here with the hand position, not overdoing that, nice and soft around the shoulders. Tendency sometimes is to kind of slightly go down on the left side in this posture. Try and get the shoulders fairly level if you can. And if this is too intense, you know, you might just be here in the posture as a nice way in. A few more breaths then is 4 and 5. Inhale, straight arms straight back. Exhale. We're practicing lift between sides. Keep alternating the way you cross your ankles from time to time. Knees to chest, nice and compact, almost lean into it. Fingers spread. Don't be discouraged if nothing much happens as you inhale, press. Try and keep the knees into the chest. And exhale, release, straightening out the legs. Right leg stays switched on. Sole of the left foot on the inside of that right leg. Try and keep everything engaged. You could always support this left knee if you felt you needed to. Try and get a sense you're facing forwards, hands either side of that right leg or progressively down towards the foot. As you inhale, lift the chest and exhale. And try and keep the shoulders level as you take your chest forward in space and eventually gazing down. If it's too intense with this right leg straight to go as far, just come up a little bit. Lots of options. Great to have a challenge, but obviously important not to overdo anything. So let the breath guide you as to how far it's appropriate to go. And that's already 4. And 5. Inhale, straight arm straight back. Exhale there. And we're going to have a go doing a few more of these vinyasas. Don't worry if it feels like it's a little bit disjointed. Crossing ankles, knees to chest, hands flat down, fingers spread. Inhale, press. Do this diligently, whatever happens, even if you need to come down, but eventually you might be able to flick the hands in front at that point and jump or step the feet back, elbows in, whatever it takes, even if you have to scoot the feet out to the side. Inhale, upward facing dog, press back into the toes, lift the chest. Exhale, all the way back to down facing dog. And eventually you might want to have a go at doing a little bit of a jump forwards, but press into the hands, try and get the knees towards the chest as you straighten out the legs in front. We're now doing a twisting posture. This is Marachasana C. We're going to separate the feet, keeping the toes up towards the ceiling, but then bending this right knee and sliding the foot in facing forwards. A little bit of space between the foot and the leg. We're turning to the right. Nice way in is your left hand to be on the outside of your right knee. You're turning your torso to that right thigh. Right hand initially could be behind you. Sit up nice and tall as you inhale, and then gently exhaling as far as feels appropriate into the twist. If you want to go further, left elbow on the outside of right knee, ultimately your left shoulder to try and at some point roll this left arm back and round. Don't worry if you're not doing the full posture. This position with the fingers up towards the ceiling of that left hand is a nice way in. Keep breathing. Try not to feel like you're leaning back. Try and inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, just let the twist gently unfold. Inhale, lengthen from the base of the spine out through the top of the head. Exhale, and don't worry too much about how far back you're looking. Don't crank the neck. Looking across to the side is a nice way in. One more breath here. Then we inhale, face the front. Keep mixing our way across our ankles, knees to chest, hands flat. It might just look like this, still with determination. Inhale, press into the mat. Exhale. And some of this lift has to come from keeping the abdomen switched on. Straightening out the legs, right toes up towards the ceiling, right leg is working, bending left knee. Try and feel nice and secure here with this left hip down on the mat to turn to the left. Right hand around the outside of left knee, a little bit of support from that left hand. If you wanted to go further, getting this right elbow on the outside of left knee is a nice way in to sit up tall, keep that right leg working, and exhale into the twist. It's obviously a little bit further to go if you want to inwardly rotate that right shoulder and reach around for the bind. This is optional. A few more breaths. 3. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale into the twist is 4. Nice and easy on the neck. You don't have to try and look necessarily to the back of the room. Looking across to the side might suffice. 5. Inhale, face the front. Exhale, release. Eventually the vinyasa, crossing ankles, knees to chest, is inhale up, tilt some weight forward. Exhale, jump or step back. And don't worry if that's not happening. If you need to take a few extra breaths, just keep doing it. Inhale, lift the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, looking to the hands. Try and almost think about going up as you bend the knees. Inhale, press into the hands, even if that's briefest of moments, cross the ankles, and then straightening out the legs. Ready for Navasana, boat posture. So the legs stay together, we bend the knees and the feet walk in. We can pick up underneath the knees to get our balance, but straight arms, roll the shoulders back, fingers going straight ahead, and 5 breaths here with the option to, at some point, straighten the legs. That's 2. Make sure there's no discomfort on the lower back. 3, try and keep lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back. It's 4, remember, could be here. 5. Now the challenge could be here to do a little lift in between 2 more Navasanas. So we're pacing ourselves. Inhale, hands on the mat, press, exhale, release. Remember, that's linked to the steady breathing. Try and take that nice full deep breath in. I know it's challenging. Second Navasana, it's 1. Try and feel it from your abdomen. 2, keep the shoulders rolling back as the fingers go forwards. 3, try and imagine the soles of the feet flat on the wall in front of you so you don't want them to turn in too much. Roll the thighs in. 4, 5, cross your ankles the other way around. If you're getting tired, of course, just have a breather here, or eventually hands flat. Inhale, press, try and draw the knees into the chest, and exhale, resetting for our last Navasana. That's 1, 2, 3. At this point, you want to try and keep the face nice and soft. Imagine you're smiling. 4, 5. Just have a little moment there because we're about to take a vinyasa, but we're going to come out of this slightly differently from the down facing dog. So I'll talk you through it. Hands flat on the mat. Inhale, press, tilts and weight forward. Remember, if you're really struggling with these, keep doing that press. You can even just scoot the legs out to the side. Whatever it takes to jump, step, hop the feet back, elbows in to go down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down facing dog. Now this time we're going to, well, possibly jump or walk the feet behind the hands. So we're in this position. So I can feel the toes up behind the wrists. I'm sinking down, so kind of getting this 90-degree angle and a little bit of a lift to the chest. And I might actually just be here for 5 breaths. And if this is enough for you, you can just work at this. If you wanted to go further, well, eventually your feet step off the edge of the mat and walk forwards on the outside of the hands. And then you want to try and sink your hips down. I'm feeling my legs pressing in, so my knees pushing into my shoulders, and then I'm going to press into the hands and try and lift the chest from here. And eventually I might get the feet coming forwards, but I'm not worrying if the feet don't come off the ground. And I could even just step them a little bit further forwards. At this point, I want to try and feel like I'm moving my shoulders back underneath the knees. I could even let the head hang, or could take a moment there, drop my hips down. Sort of like a balance point here, where I drop the hips down and start lifting the legs. And if that's too much on the hands, I obviously don't want to stress the wrists. I could just be here and just progressively putting more weight into the hands. And these are all variations to get you into the next posture we're going to have a go at looking at, which is Kurmasana. So you might want to just step back into your down facing dog from here and then look to the hands as you come through. And at this point we're going to take the legs out to the side. So this is similar, but we're not worrying about that balance. We've got the feet slightly out. I'm going to now fold my body weight forward here to maybe just get the hands on the insides like this. I might be able to, same as we were doing before, trying to get the shoulders underneath the knees to here. If I lean slightly one way, I might be able to release this hand, rotate the palm back up towards the ceiling on that corresponding leg. Do the same on the other side. And it could be here. Eventually I'm straightening out the legs a bit. And I've got my spine rounded. I'm just letting gravity do some of the work. And if you wanted to go further, or another option might be to try and walk the feet in. And I could either still have the hands behind my back here, maybe eventually reaching round, or if that felt too much to go back, I could just be here and then just do a nice easy rounding down. So I'm just trying to let my head hang over my heels. So a few variations there for you on Kurmasana, tortoise posture, and here Supta Kurmasana, sleeping tortoise posture. And then inhaling, coming up. And a key posture in this series is Baddha Konasana. So I'm going to bring my feet further in, and I'm making sure the knees are happy, and I might just be here and breathing a few breaths. If I want to go further, my fingers are going on the tops of the feet, which actually go out of view as I very gently try and just open up the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. And I'm here. Very gentle scooping action. Imagine the soles of the feet are like the middle of a hardback book, and you're very gently opening it out. I'd initially do the best I can to sit up tall here and just draw my chin down and look down. But if I wanted to go further, I could potentially fall forwards in space over this. And if I wanted to use my elbows on the insides of the legs, that's also a nice way of just not forcing it, but encouraging the knees to go down towards the ground. I'm actually trying to lift my chest over the soles of my feet and letting the head follow. But realistically, it sometimes feels like you're curving down and rounding. And in this practice, from time to time, it's nice to actually just round the spine. So you might want to, as an alternative or an option, to take the crown of the head down towards the toes. I'm just going to stay here for a few more breaths because I can let gravity just settle me down. I'm just going to check in, doesn't feel too much in the knees. I can feel that space simultaneously around the hips. Steady breathing is 4. And 5. And then inhale, coming up out of Baddha Konasana. So from here, we're about to take another vinyasa. There's a few more vinyasas to go, so just pacing ourselves, crossing ankles, knees to chest, hands flat down on the mat, tilt some weight forward, press, try and keep that weight tilted forward, step or hop the feet back, elbows in to go down. Inhale, press back into the toes, lift the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, exhale all the way back, down facing dog, and then coming through. And as we bend the knees, you want to try and get the hips up. Inhale, press into the hands, even if that's for the briefest of moments as you exhale, bringing the legs through. And we did 3 of these standing postures, but down on the ground, it's called Upavishta Konasana, where we separate the feet a little bit wider. Imagine you're making a 90-degree shape here, so not too wide. Hands on shins, ankles, eventually big toes, but we're not overstretching. Worth wherever you get to. Inhale, lift the chest. Now this time we're going to not force it, but make a more of a priority of getting the chest going forwards in space. And if you weren't happy about having the hands on the legs, you could of course use the hands in front of you, so you can sort of almost brace into the mat. But if you're happy here or here, try and let your chest go forwards. Try and feel like your thighs are rolling back, let the head follow, keeping the legs switched on, so those muscles I can feel are working above my kneecaps. I'm eventually gazing down, just off the front of my mat, shoulders nice and soft. I'm not forcing anything, nice and relaxed. This balance of effort and ease. A few more steady breaths. It's 4, 5. And a variation is to release, to find the balance point, similar to Navasana, to reattach big toes, palms facing up towards the ceiling, nice open shoulders, lift the chest, gaze now elevated slightly upwards, and this is the priority, to be here with the option eventually of straightening out the legs, but not at the expense of being dragged forwards or almost working the legs straight. Keep the toes pointing outwards, and this is 3, and 4, and 5. You might be able to cross your ankles from here. If you're getting tired, you don't have to do all these vinyasas. Knees to chest, hands flat, fingers spread. Inhale, press, tilt that weight forward. Exhale, jump, step, hop the feet back, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming through to sitting, straightening out the legs and lying down. Supta Padangusthasana is similar to the standing balance postures we did, but lying down. Left hand on top of left thigh, bending right knee, either picking up underneath this knee, But once we're committed to holding onto the big toe, even if this knee is bent and we're here, your right palm facing the left side of the room, 5 breaths. And over time, try not to let go. You could eventually straighten that right leg. That's 2. Could be fairly intense on the back of this leg, so take it nice and easy. 3. It's like a forward bend, but now you're keeping your back straight and the leg is coming towards you. 4. 5. Same option, taking that leg out to the side. You might just be here or here. Important not to roll to the side. Keep this left hand grounding that leg down so my hips are actually square up towards the ceiling, as I've got the option of looking over my left shoulder. Very similar to what we did standing. Nice opportunity to do this here without worrying too much about the balance. Incidentally, my left toes are pointing to the front of the room. And eventually, we're not forcing anything, this right leg might come closer to the ground. But I could well be here for a couple more breaths. It's 4. 5. Inhale to center. Exhale, release. And as that leg goes down, keep the right toes pointing. Right hand on top of that right leg to reset for the left side. So I could be here, picking up underneath the knee, or eventually I'm committed to holding onto the big toe. Even if this knee is bent close to my elbow, I'm not going to let go and breathe 5 breaths here. Or incrementally straightening that leg up, pointing the toes away. 3, 4, 5. Remember, as I go to the left, I'm not rolling onto my left side. I'm keeping grounded. I'm facing directly towards the ceiling. I might be here or here as I look across to the right side of the room. And eventually that leg might be closer to the ground, but it might not be. And I'm breathing steady breaths all the time. A few more here then. On the left side is 4, 5. As I inhale back to center, I exhale and release this left leg down. And now I'm ready lying down on the ground to move into the last few finishing postures we're doing by bending my knees and walking the feet in. And the feet are about hip distance, a little bit wider, facing forwards. They're going to stay flat down on the mat. I'm going to lift the chest and just try and shuffle my shoulders a little bit closer towards each other. And with the knees bent, I could either hold onto my heels, but if that's not possible and I wanted to hold onto the mat, I could, or as I press and do a nice introductory bridge posture, I could get to here with the option of interlacing fingers underneath, trying to shrug the shoulders and lift. So this is a preparation for a slightly more challenging posture, but here I'm trying to press into the feet, keeping the feet grounded, trying to keep the big toes moving towards each other. I'm not coming off the heels. I'm lifting the chest. I'm actually trying to move my sternum towards the back of the room, getting this nice arch to the spine. This is the opposite of going forwards. And every upward facing dog we have done up until this point, at least over 20, has been a preparation for this posture. And that's 4. 5. As you exhale, come down and have a moment. You could either repeat that one more time, or the full posture is to look at the back of your hands, palms up towards the ceiling, fingers spread. Now, the requirement is to be able to put your hands flat down on the ground next to your head, elbows, shoulders and hands all kind of parallel, lined up. My elbows aren't splaying out to the side. Obviously, I'm going to need a little bit of strength in the arms to lift up into the full posture. I would encourage you don't want to be lingering on the top of your head. So it's all or nothing with this nice smooth inhale, press and lift up. Make sure you get a nice even amount of weight pressing down through the hands and the feet. Try and just let the head hang. I am trying to move my chest towards the back of the room, but I'm not forcing anything. And I've got my feet grounded and I'm lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Might find it's a little bit more challenging to maintain this steady breathing here. And a few more breaths. It's 4. This is Urdhva Dhanasana, upside down bow posture. And 5. And then exhale, come down. And don't worry if you weren't doing that and you were just doing that bridge posture as a preparation, because that's a really nice way in to this more challenging posture. Wherever you were, worth just keeping that left foot down and the knee bent and actually drawing your right knee into the chest and giving yourselves a little hug. This is a great release. To switch legs, left knee comes in, and then both knees in. So you can just give the lower back a little bit of a massage, moving from side to side. And you might be able to cross your ankles and rock up to sitting. You could always tilt off to the side and come up to sitting. And after that back bend, we're going forwards again. At some point, this forward bend is the same as the one we started this sequence off with straight legs. But actually, it's nice just to separate the feet and slightly bend the knees to, well, if you wanted to reach for the big toes, which are closer, you could do, or hands on the ground. Worth inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, taking your chest forwards. And just letting the head hang. So this is more of a rounded forward bend because it's a nice counter stretch to the previous posture. If you're a little bit more flexible and it feels appropriate to do this with straight legs, as before, you can. Or over time, you wouldn't want to skid the heels away from you, but you might explore straightening the legs a little bit more. But the challenge is to keep your chest moving over your thighs. You don't want to feel this is doing anything and pulling on the hamstrings. So you want to just relax and get that nice steady breath back. Smooth breath in through the nose, keep breathing in. Smooth breath out. Nice soft shoulders. Just hold that for one more breath. And then we're going to inhale, come up, and we're going to do a few postures from the shoulder stand sequence. So make sure you've got enough space behind you if you think you might be going all the way back into Halasana, but you don't have to go that far. And a nice way in is to lie down. But you want to lie down as if everything is engaged, as if you're standing. You could even just briefly have your palms in. So I really feel like everything is active. I'm not just kind of flaking out. We're not quite in Shavasana. It's not far away now. If you don't want to do the whole of the shoulder stand sequence, really important not to stress the neck and feel the support in the shoulders. Lifting your legs, and you could bend the knees to get them there, just at this 90-degree angle. Imagine your feet initially on the ceiling and then slightly point the toes away from you. I'd actually recommend, if this is challenging, to be here for 10 breaths before you go any further. If you are going further, really aware that you're going to support the neck, you taking the feet behind you, and as the back comes off the ground, you're going to support your fingers on the back. And you might be in this sort of slightly zigzag shape. If that feels okay, you could just be here. And of course, eventually straightening up a little bit into shoulder stand. I'm zipping up the toes towards the ceiling. The legs are working. I can feel my abdomen working. And I'm breathing steady breaths. And at any point, if I need to back off or come down, I can. We typically hold these inverted postures a little bit longer in the Ashtanga series. So if you're okay, and we could say we're on 5 already, to go up to 10, that's 6. 7, make sure the neck is free, don't want to feel any tension there. 8, 9, 10. Now this is optional. If you want to come into Halasana, the feet are going back behind you and eventually down onto the ground. You could keep supporting the back here. If you need to soften the knees just to ease off, you could. Eventually the fingers interlace behind you and I'm pressing down, keeping the shoulders pushing into the mat, keeping the neck free. And the challenge is to keep the hips still lifting up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to just hold Halasana, plow posture, for a few more breaths. If you need to unwind, you can come down. I'm going to talk you through that in a few moments anyway. A couple more breaths then. Now as you unwind, you can just back off and you could move your hands down on the edge of the mat so you've got space to unwind the spine down all the way. Going to cross the ankles and we can just come into a nice easy Matsyasana fish posture where we're going to use our forearms by our sides. We're going to press to lift the chest, feel the support and keep that support there as you gently put the head, top of your head on the mat behind you. So the gaze is actually behind. If this is too intense, just back off a little bit, just take it steady. But it's a nice way of exploring moving your chin away from the top of the chest in the previous posture. This is a nice counter stretch. This is Matsyasana fish posture. I'm just going to hold that for one more breath. And then I'm going to press into the forearms just to release my back down onto the ground. Just have a few moments there. I'm going to bend the knees, give myself a little hug again, move from side to side, backwards and forwards, and again I might be able to rock up to sitting, and after all of that, it's our very last vinyasa to cross the ankles, knees to chest, hands flat down on the ground. Inhale, press. If you're getting tired, just nice and steady, you might want to just step back here, elbows in, you can put the knees down, of course. Inhale. Hopefully this upward facing dog, after the previous postures of the Ashtanga, will feel a little bit more open as you roll the shoulders back, or even if you're just doing bridge posture. Exhale all the way back, down facing dog. Inhale, look to the hands, maybe just stepping through, crossing the ankles, straightening out the legs. Last few seated postures. So you probably notice in Ashtanga it's right leg first, and at some point you'd be sitting in lotus right leg first, but assuming we're not quite ready for that, we're going to just sit cross-legged with our right leg in front to begin with. So we're going to switch sides. You might, at some point, want to sit half lotus on this right side, but you're going to be very cautious with your right knee. It's going to feel comfortable, and the ankle to place the foot on top of the left leg now, making sure you feel enough space here. I'd say if your knee is kind of up here or it feels a bit kind of, uncomfortable, certainly you don't want to be doing this. So from cross-legged or here, back of the hands on the knees, thumb and first finger, remaining 3 fingers straight, try and roll the palms away from each other. Try and feel like you're sitting up on the wall behind you, so straight back. Try and lift the chest a bit, look straight ahead, and then draw the chin down for 5 steady breaths here. Smooth, deep breathing. So I can feel the awareness of the abdomen supporting the breath as I inhale, fill the lungs. Exhale, empty the lungs. I can very softly hear the swirling sound to the breath as I inhale and exhale. I'm really keeping my attention tuned into the breath, steady breathing. And that's 4. And 5. Inhale, lift the gaze, and it's certainly worth exploring sitting cross-legged the other way around. And it might just be sitting cross-legged this way around. If you're not used to doing this, it might feel a bit unusual to do the same hand gesture, but if you want to go further, it could be left foot that comes across into half lotus, making sure your left knee is happy and you feel pretty comfortable sitting here. It doesn't want to feel like it's tense or you're kind of forcing anything. So you can judge what feels okay to replace the back of the hands on the knees. You might want to reset straight arms, straight back, look straight ahead, and then as you exhale, draw your chin down. But if you're drawing your chin down, try and keep this nice upward lift. To look down, maybe just off the front of your mat or the space between your knees to begin with. 5 steady breaths here. So we smoothly breathe in through the nose, keep breathing in. Smooth breath out, keep breathing out. That's 1. Steady breathing. It's 2. 3. 4. 5. And our very last posture, I'm going to show you because eventually it could be done in full lotus, and we could, if we were doing this now, explore right, then left. If this is too much, you could just do half lotus, or you might just be doing cross-leg, but the hands are going to go flat down on our sides with the fingers spread, and we're lifting up for 10 breaths, so they're going to go by fairly quickly. Full posture will be here as you inhale, press, and lift up. You might be in half lotus or here, and that's already 2 breaths. So keep breathing. Is 3, 4, last final push, 5, a few more breaths, 6, if you come down, just lift up again, 7, 8, you're doing really well, a couple more breaths, 9, once more, steady breath, 10, exhale, release and come down. Well done. So we're going to finish in Shavasana, relaxation with the feet, I'd say at least the width of your mat. As you lie down, arms off your mat, palms up towards the ceiling. Let the feet flop off to the side, back of the head on the mat. Back of the hands on the ground. Last thing you see is the ceiling because you're now going to close your eyes and you're going to let everything go. So relax the arms, let the muscles just go soft in the arms. Let the feet flop off to the side, relax the muscles in the legs. Let go of the awareness to the abdomen we talked about at the beginning. So we want to feel the tummy completely soft. Let go of the full deep breathing, let the body just breathe itself. And we're going to be here a few minutes in Shavasana, so just enjoy this time. This is a nice balance to the practice. After having worked hard, moving us through this dynamic physical practice, nice opportunity just to completely relax the body, to let everything go. So let the body just breathe itself. Let the breath just come and go. If you optionally want to breathe in through the mouth as well as the nose at this point, you can. That sometimes helps get a nice sense of space around the jaw and down the back of the throat. Try and feel like you're just floating in space now, completely weightless. And a nice opportunity just to explore quieter quality of mind. Try and just be here and present. Try to not let the mind wander away. Just divert your attention inwards. To have your breathing, follow that pattern of inhalation and exhalation, or to the sensations throughout the body. Wherever you feel that, maybe tingling, pressure, temperature. I'm just going to leave you here, resting in Shavasana for a few moments longer. And then gently moving the fingers and the toes. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. You might want to gently open up the eyes, but take it nice and steady as you float the arms up. And if you've got enough space, you can stretch out behind you along the length of the mat. And then just pausing there for a moment to bend the knees for the last time. Draw the knees into the chest. A little bit of a hug, slowly moving round and round from side to side on the lower back. Staying in this nice curled up position, we're going to exhale and roll onto our right side. You might want to make a little pillow just briefly to put your head down. And then taking our time to come up to sitting, straightening out that left leg, which would be on top. You can use your left hand to support. And then just finding a nice, easy, comfortable seated position at the front of the mat. Thank you for getting through that with me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Namaste. Cheers.